Today, I bring you a high-performance supercar from Italy, a rare remarkable machine from a small company, Pagani, that's extremely difficult to spot in real life due to her rarity, her uniqueness, and incredible attention to detail. She is beautiful, she is extremely fast, she is astonishingly a work of art from the inside out that will make people keep staring at this car for years and cost an arm and a leg. We're talking millions of dollars of this original Pagani Hauyra that first came out 10 years ago, and 2021 marks the 10-year anniversary of the Pagani Hauyra since its birth in 2011, which is absolutely stunning. This is definitely something different. I'm reviewing a car from Italy other than a Ferrari, and one of the coolest cars ever made the moment you take a good look at her, and gets even deeper as we take a tour into the features, which becomes more deluxe, and why the Huayra is so damn expensive. As Pagani celebrates the 10-year anniversary of the Huayra, I thought this is a great time to review this legendary car. So let's jump right to it. The development of the Pagani Hauyra began when a concept was born in 2003, the Pagani C9, back when the Pagani Zonda was still in production as the early 2000s were booming for the world of supercars. The automotive owner himself, Horacio Pagani, sourced out his thoughts of the Zonda's successor that would have a similar design as the Zonda, that's longer, with a detailed interior, with soft slick lines on the car's body, providing a clean attitude. During the 7-year development of Pagani's second supercar, they made hundreds of drawings without abandoning the original idea and taking precise attention to detail. Unlike the Zonda, the Huayra intended to use the all-new Mercedes-sourced V12 engine to replace the old-school 7.3-liter AMG V12 from the final Zondas like the Shinkway. If you didn't know, in 2008, supercar enthusiasts were rumoring that the Huayra wasn't going to be V12 powered like the Zonda, to use an AMG V8 from the Mercedes-McLaren SLR or the C63 to make the car lighter and way less expensive. They thought that because the test mode exhaust note of the C9 sounded deeper and quieter like the AMG V8, but that didn't happen. Trust me, if it did, then Pagani would have stated that, and the V8 and the Pagani would be disappointing due to not sounding as delightful as the Zonda. That's just like how Mercedes is slowly moving away from twin-turbo V8s to straight-four hybrids and gas-motor engines to electrics these days. Pagani resumed to stick with the V12. When the Pagani Zonda R released in 2009, the Huayra shared many of the techniques developed for the Zonda R of the carbon fiber, extensive use of titanium, suspension, Pirelli tires, and the bi-xenon headlights for the Huayra. In 2010, Horacio Pagani claimed the Huayra features the AMG 6-liter bi-turbo V12, and that V12 is a version specifically developed for Pagani with modifications. The Pagani Hauyra debuted at the 2011 Geneva Motor Show alongside the OG Lamborghini Aventador at the same time, which turned out to be the direct rival to the Huayra. They both are V12s and generate around the same horsepower. The mid-mounted 6-liter V12 with 10 turbos kick out 730 brake horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque and generates revs to 6,500 RPMs, flying from 0 to 60 around 3 seconds and impressively top out at stunning 230 miles an hour or 370 kilometers an hour. One of the fastest cars on the planet, and comes with an advanced 7-speed sequential gearbox instead of dual clutch because it would make the car heavier by 154 pounds, negating the advantage to change gears quicker and faster. The base Huayra starting price was given at over 1 million slightly in Europe and 1.4 million in the United States. Based on the car's specs and the price after revelation, the Huayra was proven as a hypercar to date based on the top speed, savage performance with the use of lightweight materials and careful engineering. The Huayra weighs at 2,977 pounds and the engine is just phenomenally powerful. We're talking Bugatti levels of performance with astonishing looks, and won the Hypercar of the Year award in 2012 by Top Gear magazine. Pagani made limitedly 100 units of the base Huayra and sold out after 3 years after it went production in 2012, which part led Pagani to make the track day version of the Ordinary, the Huayra BC. So far, the styling of the Huayra combines past, present, and future in a timeless examination of automotive art. It follows the Zonda's interior architecture, The combination of fine leather, carbon fiber, colored stitching, and brushed aluminum everywhere. Very high quality and truly aesthetic work of art. This has to be one of the most beautiful interiors in the car industry. The whole car managed to feel and be luxurious and sporty while feeling unique. The interesting thing about the car is that the Pagani ovals are placed throughout the entire interior in different places. The middle of the steering wheel, around the gauge cluster, and around the center buttons has the Pagani logo integrated. The steering wheel contains turn signal buttons, car lights, and windshield wipers. The car's horn are located both top left and right of the steering wheel. The ESC button on the steering wheel insists driver modes like normal mode, sport mode, and race mode. The 4 gauges is just a masterpiece of shiny aluminum and old school with a small center display that tells your speed and more information as you're driving. The aluminum center console has a nice shiny parking brake and a classic shiny gated shifter knob where you can shift gears manually. Seriously, how simple and cool does it look? Above that, there is the infotainment screen with fancy buttons to touch and air conditioning vents. On the carbon glove storage, you see the finished spiffy shiny Huayra logo and the floor mats printed with the Pagani logo below the both seats. Everything in the car's interior is such a beautiful piece of art and very elegant in every single way. On the outside, the Huayra design itself is also really beautiful from every angle. When the Huayra first came out and looking at it from first glance, I thought the car was uglier than the Zonda and looked very controversial many years back and didn't know that this replaced the Zonda. But then when I realized comparing the Zonda and Huayra side by side next to each other, they both follow the same lines and similarities, which interprets that Pagani followed the design language of the Zonda and the Zonda R on the Huayra. The Huayra's front end has an aggressive look with the Huayra logo and noticeable pieces like the double headlights shared with the Zonda R. The aerodynamic wing flaps at the front and back comes up and down to provide downforce or drag when the car slows down. When the car is accelerating really fast, the wings descend like some other supercars that does the same exact thing. Next thing that's attractive is the feminine mirrors made out of carbon fiber, and by just looking at them very good, they obviously stand out past the fenders and are very unique. The shape of the mirrors are intentionally designed to resemble the eyelash of a female, and that is interesting to see those stick out because they are creatively very special. The side view is subtly stunning of lettering Pirelli tires with side air intakes, and the rims fit so perfect. The rear of the Huayra is also beautiful and features the quad titanium exhaust where you hear the engine. The outline of the LED taillights are shaped like a leaf, if you can see that really well, and look almost identical to the eyelash mirrors and a carbon diffuser to provide downforce and grip. Now, when we transition the car's bodywork into explode mode, you'll really see the most structure they did to this car. The whole engine, a lot of carbon fiber, small features that's a hit or miss to spot, and the doors with the sunroof. Now that's a hypercar, and what a hypercar should be. It's a millionaire's car and looks like a work of art and built to deliver a memorable and exciting driving experience. The performance of the original Huayra is still a monster with breathtaking 730 brake horsepower and is amazingly quick on the road. The engine is outrageous and has fantastic throttle response for a turbocharged car. Put your feet on the throttle as the boost builds so quickly and it's uncomfortably fast, from 0 to 60 down to 3 seconds. Something very few people in the world will ever get to do is to buy a fortune-bred Pagani supercar and have a ball with her as soon as they lift the gull-wing door and take a peek stare at the glorious art interior and worries about what's it like to drive this car. The Huayra has insane grip, which means handling is incredibly stable and very precise. The car has amazing stability on the road and feels very easy to drive, very balanced of speed until you unleash the power to the full potential limits. My most favorite part about the Huayra is the beautiful engine noise. Yes, I know, the Huayra sound isn't as musical as the Zonda, period, but the Huayra still sounds amazing with a deeper and low growling tone as a V12, and the turbocharging whistles actually makes up for it to sound so good. And of course, I prefer the sound of the Zonda over the Huayra because that sound is just pure classic if you've heard of it before. And I know I said this many times before, that this thing is so rare that people only get to see this in video games. Well, most people. After reviewing this Pagani, makes me want to hop in and take it for a spin someday in real life. After 10 years since the commence, the regular Huayra still remains timeless and gorgeous from the inside out, just like the other Paganis. And now, I am going to wrap it up here for this video of the Pagani Hauyra. And once again, I hope you guys really did enjoy this car review. And if you did, remember, don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll see you next time for some more upcoming videos. And as always, you are more than welcome to give me any car suggestions. Time to listen to the sound of the Pagani Hauyra. Peace out.